Off we go, starting from the back, or as far back as I was able to get. I've tried this race several times, qualifying in the front, qualifying in the back, qualifying in the middle, everywhere. Always got taken out by being in the wrong place at the wrong time, so now I decided let's just start in the back and take it easy and only go for safe overtakes in the beginning, in the first lap at least. I back out a little bit because I didn't trust the other car that they would stay on the left very much. Backing out in this particular turn on the cold tires is probably the smart thing to do on this particular track, especially as everyone is usually trying to win the race in the turn, on the right turn here. Nobody really crashed, so that's surprising, and our plan of starting in the back and taking advantage of everything did not pan out just yet, so we'll have to be patient. We're up to spot number 10, and more overtakes to come. It just means I have to work my way forward. Welcome to this race recap. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to follow along my iRacing journey. Also, let me know in the comments if you've watched a couple of my other videos before, whether you like the 3 screens better than the usual 5 that I had for the last couple of months. Still not quite down to a single screen view with a driving view, but maybe I'll get there. I just feel like I'm cutting out a lot of side stuff from the monitor if I zoom in too much, but I think ultimately it's fine too, so maybe I'll just go down to one view, one screen in the video here at some point in the future. Alright, trying to stay behind the cars in a predictable fashion. I'm trying to usually keep the distance between me and the cars ahead stable, not trying to overtake anyone just yet. I'm just trying to stay stable with them, and that allows me to take advantage of some of the mistakes that the cars ahead of me have made. Both of them spin out in the same fashion, and fortunately enough I was able to go around them on the right. More chaos ahead, perhaps. That's the goal, that's the hope, and now I need to put my head down, catch up to them, and not let anyone from behind put too much pressure on the car ourselves, so that we can catch up to the front riders here, and drivers rather than riders, as a car, not a motorcycle, so we can go through here quite quickly. The last turn is a challenge. I've been getting better at it compared to last season and the season before, so always room for improvement. My overall lap time has not improved by all that much. I think it's better by maybe a second or so compared to the previous season, so smaller improvements are happening than before. I need to really study track guides and faster drivers to see how they're doing and how they're going through here. Cautiously through that turn, tires are now starting to warm up. Some cars go off on the left, this one spins. That's fine. Can we make it past them before the left turn? Nope, maybe. I'm on the outside now for some reason, which is not a good idea. Getting a little bit too close because I never know on this left turn where the cars do brake. Do they brake? I found a way that if I turn in now, I don't have to brake all that much, and usually I can go further to the left onto the curb before gently braking and coming out of this turn with more momentum. Too much momentum, not enough turning the car in, so that goes a little bit wrong. Again, always something to learn, always something to improve, which is the fun part of iRacing. Alright, going to put my head down and hope to catch up to the cars ahead of us. I found on this particular turn, if I just brake more gently, I can carry more momentum through here. So I've been working on that. A car ahead of us did go wide, and we were able to get closer by that car going wide and by us braking more gently. This almost goes wrong as the car spins out in front of us. Fortunately, I had enough control to maneuver my way around it, but now also a car from behind has caught up, and they take full advantage of me having to go through that turn a little bit more in a compromised manner. But that's okay, we can always try to win the race and overtake them in some other corner. Just have to stay with them and not let the other cars catch up from behind. I take a completely different line than the orange car ahead of me, which is not ideal, as you can tell by the fact that they're pulling away from me quite quickly and quite significantly, so I do need to figure out a better line through there and be more consistent at the last turn. The last turn is one that I'm not consistent at. I'm not going off track as much as I used to in past seasons, last year in 2025, but I'm not going through there as quickly as I should be. Here, on the other hand, I've been trying to experiment over the past couple of laps and practice sessions with how to carry more speed and momentum through it. And again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to turn in at the end of the green here, trying to get as close as I can to the curb without losing control of the car. Let me know how you take this particular corner, if that's the right approach. It does often seem to get me closer, and if I end up braking correctly for the left turn before this particular right one, then I can also catch up to cars ahead. We're now catching up to 2 more cars ahead, so again, I'm trying to not put too much pressure on the orange car once I see that we are closing in on cars ahead of us, because I don't want the orange car to defend and then lose time and we both don't get closer to the cars ahead. I'd rather want the orange car to pull me along with them to the cars ahead, and then ideally everyone has too much pressure on them so they make mistakes and or open up opportunities for legitimate overtakes that are easy to execute. The other thing I have to work on is avoiding unforced errors, like this one. No idea why I did this. Well, I do know in retrospect why it happened, looking at my inputs for pedals, steering, and the overall track position. Now, it's not safe for me to go back on track, and I don't know where the cars are going to go, so I want to stay back and not ruin anyone's race. That means I did lose several positions here, but quite frankly, that's okay. I'd rather do this properly, not lose too much sleep over that, and not crash into anyone and ruin their race unexpectedly. After all, there's another race going to be in 30 minutes for this particular series. There's going to be more opportunities, more laps to go. There's always a possibility to keep overtaking them again and again. We've had a good race up until this point, and then again, just need to work more on avoiding unforced errors. If you're an experienced driver, you probably heard that I was in completely the wrong gears, shifted at the wrong points on that last turn. Again, this is likely due to being a little bit rattled and unsettled myself after having gone off track and making an error and a mistake. It takes a couple of turns before I'm calm again and are able to execute my plan and the driving as I intended. And there you have it. As I was saying, cars will go off track. We can try again. They're coming back on track a little bit, hitting the brakes, so fortunately they didn't crash into us either, and we didn't crash into them. We made it through. It was a bit tight, but it worked out fine. Now that this has happened, my focus is on catching up to the cars ahead, turning on my delta bar in the race, seeing that I'm consistent, trying to be faster than in the past, and catching up to the cars ahead. There's another one that's gone off at some point in these corners, so now we see them. As long as we can see cars, we have something to aim for, to catch up to, and there we go. We are falling far enough behind that I do know that I'm theoretically faster than them. It just means I need to spend the time, be consistent, not make errors myself, and then I will catch up to them. You know, I see 2 cars ahead. There was one going around the corner, around the turn. This is good. We're having a good entry, good exit, a little bit of compromise. That was not quite ideal, but you know what? It's fine. Too tight here. We're getting closer to them, we're catching up, so in a couple of turns I have to start thinking about which turn do I want to overtake them at. Can I get close enough and set up my exit out of turn 1 correctly? And all that thinking does make me lose a little bit of control of the car. There's no car from behind. There they go. Okay, they've taken care of the problem themselves. I didn't even have to be waiting for turn 1, or the last turn to come through here. So that's fine, we've overtaken them. Again, staying a little bit far back, it means I have enough time to react in case something like this does happen. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a lonely race for a little while. We do see a car ahead, so that's the target. And I'll get back to you with my thought process once we've caught up to them. Actually, we will not catch up with them. It is going to be a lonely race until the end of this race, which means we're going to cut the chatter a little bit, turn up the music if you want, just slightly, because I will speak every once in a while and tell you my thought process as we go through particular corners. If you want to see a shortened version of this, there's going to be a highlight video of this where I cut out all the lonely drives and just focus on the action as well. Usually what I'll do on this channel, or at least for now that's the plan, going forward for the next couple of months at a minimum, is to have full races, full race recaps like this one, as well as shortened highlights, cutting out all the lonely drives and boring bits, and then giving you general other videos as I expand from the Mazda. There's a car on the left we're now overtaking. Fantastic. They've spun out as well. That's the plan. So if you do like full race recaps or follow along my journey in iRacing, hit the like and subscribe button, and as I mentioned earlier, do let me know if you like these 3 views here that we have, these 3 screens, the driving view and then the mixed and the rear view, or that we have up there. If you prefer that over the 5 different screens that I had on the previous videos, do let me know in the comments. I'll probably go down to just having the driving view from the bottom view screen here, and that's going to be what it's going to turn into. Overall, I like this track. There are several slippery corners, it seems, but lots of cars go off track. You gotta keep control of your own car. Opportunities for overtaking and setting up overtakes are there as well. So overall, not a bad track. I do enjoy driving it. I enjoy driving on pretty much most of the tracks. I guess the only one I'm sort of a little bit meh about is Winton, but still, it's just because it's a very tight racetrack and the overtaking opportunities, for me at least, are not there. But I'm sure other people love Winton, and that's okay too. I'm just meh, you know, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, while everything else is 9 or 10 out of 10. And I'm sure Winton also does teach you something about how to drive. Alright, this is the last lap. We have nobody threatening us from behind. The cars are far enough behind us that they're not going to pose a threat. As long as we're going through here relatively consistently, I can ease off a little bit. I can go probably 1 or 2 seconds slower than I would normally go, and they still wouldn't catch up to me, so that's fine. But we're also not in a position where we see anyone in front of us, so we have no chance of overtaking another car. It does make for a lonely drive. It does also make for a less stressful drive for me, which is fine, which allows me to work on consistency, on playing around with the braking points a little bit if I'm going slightly slower than I would normally do if I'm pushing the car 100%. So that's always nice. Can't take it easier through the corners that usually give me trouble, like that one here on the left turn. But it also means that I don't have a faster car in front of me that I can learn something from. So that's always a double-edged sword in terms of, do I learn something, how stressful is it, and how are we doing overall. The lap time here, the last lap, was 2:01, so not quite as good. I think my fastest qualifying or testing lap was in the 1:58 something, so getting there, but can't pull it off consistently is the issue at this point. So that's something I need to work on over the next season, over this season, just being more consistent with the faster lap times as well. Alright, coming to an end here almost. While I still do have you here, thanks very much for making it this far in the video, and hope to see you again in the near future. Let me know what you think of this particular track as well. I've heard several people say they are not a fan of it, others really love it. So it's a mixed bag, I suppose. Here we go, finish straight. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.